On June 22, 2025, the Qatari desert's calm was shattered by a barrage of missiles targeting Al Udeid Air Base, the U.S. military's regional nerve center. The attack followed America's Midnight Hammer operation, which struck Iran's nuclear facilities days earlier. U.S. and Qatari air defenses intercepted all but one missile, which landed harmlessly in a safe zone. This was no accident. Both sides managed the event to avoid escalation. Intelligence suggests Iran gave advance warning, allowing partial evacuation and repositioning of assets. The attack was military theater, a show of resolve from Tehran, but carefully calibrated to avoid all-out war. For Iran, it was about saving face and signaling to its domestic audience that it would not let an American strike go unanswered. For the U.S., the successful defense validated its preparedness and technology. The incident highlighted the razor-thin margin for error in the Gulf, where a single miscalculation could ignite a regional conflict. Both sides sent messages, but neither wanted to cross the line into uncontrollable escalation. The world watched, aware that the next move could have global consequences.
After the missile strike, Tehran's official response was strategic ambiguity. Iranian officials denied direct involvement, framing the attack as the work of independent regional militias. State media, meanwhile, celebrated the launch as a warning to Washington.
This dual messaging targets two audiences: denials for the international community, defiant rhetoric for domestic and regional supporters. President Pezeshkian walked a careful line, claiming Iran didn't start the war but warning aggression wouldn't go unanswered. The statement asserted resolve without admitting responsibility, letting the world connect the dots. This ambiguity lets Iran satisfy hardliners and proxies without risking direct war with the U.S. By using proxies, Tehran can challenge American interests while avoiding open confrontation. But this strategy is risky. U.S. patience with deniability may not last as tensions rise. The region remains on edge, uncertain how long this dangerous balancing act can hold. Far from the crisis, Donald Trump issued a statement from Mar-a-Lago that stunned many. On Truth Social, he thanked Iran for their very weak response, and praised their advance notice. Rather than condemn, Trump framed Iran's restraint as proof of their fear of his potential reaction. He took credit for de-escalation, suggesting his reputation alone deterred a stronger attack. Trump cast himself as the ultimate deal-maker, capable of commanding respect from adversaries. He mused that this could be a turning point for peace, positioning himself as a peacemaker. The message was aimed at his base, reinforcing his image as a uniquely effective global leader. Trump's post turned a tense moment into a personal political victory, dominating headlines and rallying supporters. It was classic Trump, audacious, unconventional, and self-referential. Even out of office, he ensured he remained central to the global narrative. Trump's thank you to Tehran was a calculated nod to his peace through strength doctrine. He implied Iran's limited strike was due to their fear of his potential response. This narrative, rooted in Reagan-era thinking, is central to Trump's foreign policy brand. Supporters cite moments like his 2019 decision to call off a strike on Iran as proof of his strength and restraint. The Qatar incident let him revive this theme, arguing his leadership alone keeps adversaries in check. Critics counter that his unpredictability increased risks, not stability. For Trump's base, the doctrine is a simple, powerful slogan. For opponents, it's a dangerous gamble. The debate over strength versus unpredictability remains at the heart of America's foreign policy divide. The Qatar attack and Trump's reaction became a political flashpoint, highlighting the contrast between Trump's and Biden's foreign policies. Trump claims his strength deterred adversaries, while Biden's diplomacy is seen as weakness. Trump's approach was transactional and disruptive, withdrawing from the Iran nuclear deal and imposing maximum pressure. Supporters argue this kept Iran in check. Critics say Biden's traditional diplomacy is more effective. Trump frames the incident as proof of Biden's failed policies, turning it into a referendum on American leadership. The debate pits Trump's America First vision against Biden's multilateralism. By thanking Iran, Trump both criticizes Biden and claims credit for restraint. The incident fuels a broader debate over the direction of U.S. foreign policy. Trump's statement split Washington along party lines.
Republicans rallied behind him, calling the incident proof of Biden's weakness and Trump's deterrence. They praised his peace through strength and saw his thank you as clever psychological warfare.
Democrats condemned the statement as reckless and damaging to U.S. credibility. Critics argued it prioritized Trump's ego over national security and confused America's position.
The episode highlighted deep divisions, with each side using the incident to reinforce their worldview. The fear such messaging makes the U.S. appear unstable, inviting adversaries to exploit political rifts. The world watched as America's internal divisions played out on the global stage. Across the Middle East, the missile attack and U.S. political drama sparked deep anxiety.
Gulf allies like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar were reminded of their vulnerability. Qatar condemned the attack but blamed the broader cycle of escalation. Regional powers fear that a US-Iran war would devastate economies and trigger a refugee crisis. The restrained responses brought relief, but Trump's unpredictable intervention caused unease. European allies, favoring diplomacy, saw the episode as a dangerous escalation. Trump's statement complicated efforts for a unified Western response. Russia and China, meanwhile, used the incident to question US reliability and promote their own influence.
The region's leaders must navigate between a traditionalist White House and a disruptive former president. The stakes for stability have never been higher. Symbolic strikes like the one on Al Udeid are far from harmless.
The risk of miscalculation is high. One error could trigger a wider war. These actions normalize military aggression, lowering the threshold for future attacks. The region is kept on edge, economies suffer, and civilians live in fear. Hardliners on both sides are emboldened, making diplomacy harder. Each symbolic strike pushes the US and Iran closer to confrontation.
These acts signal a breakdown in communication, replacing dialogue with dangerous gestures. Stability depends on restoring real diplomacy, not just managing crises with missiles. As long as missiles speak louder than ministers, the risk of catastrophe remains. The missile attack and its aftermath have set the stage for an uncertain future in US-Iran relations. The question, will this cycle de-escalate or spiral into greater danger? Both sides paused, but tensions remain high. The incident fuels debate in the US. Trump touts deterrence. Biden points to successful defense and restraint. Gulf allies are reminded of their precarious position and may seek new diplomatic paths. The desire for de-escalation grows, but so does the risk of conflict. The next chapter is unwritten. Peace or provocation depends on choices in Washington, Tehran, and beyond. The world waits, knowing the stakes have never been higher.